90% of college applications get straight up rejected, but why is that? In this video, I'll share the most common mistakes students make, how they unknowingly sabotage their chances, and what you can do differently to stand out. Stick around because at the end of this video, I'll share a game-changing insight from a former Ivy League admissions officer that could completely shift how you approach your application. Number 1, generic essays. Most students write essays that are too general. They summarize their achievements or tell a story without revealing anything new about themselves. Admissions officers already have your grades, test scores, and your activity list. Your essay is a chance to showcase a unique piece of your story that only you can provide. I want to emphasize heavily about the fact that the uniqueness of your application comes from you. To be unique, by definition, is being one of a kind, unlike anyone else. That's exactly what you are simply by being you. Who else has your first and last name, lives in whatever state or country you're in, and is interested in the things you're interested in and is good at what you're good at? No one but you. That's why your essay should reveal something about you. If yours sounds like something they've read a dozen times before, it'll blend into the pile. Specificity equals authenticity, and that's what makes an essay stand out. Try using this technique we tell our clients at Inspire Consulting to use. The missing puzzle piece technique. First, identify your gap. Think about the parts of your story that aren't obvious from your application. Some of these questions are: what motivates you? What personal experiences have shaped your goals? Now, zoom in on a moment. Instead of summarizing all your achievements, focus on a single pivotal moment that shows who you are, and make sure to include vivid details to make the reader feel like they're right there with you. Then explain the impact. Now, I don't want you to just tell what happened. Share how it changed you or influenced your goals. You've heard of the saying, pictures are worth 1,000 words, right? So instead of simply telling the reader what happened, paint them a picture of the environment, the circumstances. They'll have a much better understanding with less word count. So a generic and bad example is: I volunteered at a hospital and learned how important it is to help others. Okay, cool. You volunteered at a hospital and learned the importance of helping others, but who cares, right? Who cares? What are the reasons as to how you've learned this lesson? So to address these questions, here's a better example. During my first shift volunteering at the hospital, I met a young patient who inspired me. She had a rare illness, but her resilience and positivity were contagious. Our conversations motivated me to research rare diseases, which led me to start a fundraiser that raised $15,000 for a nonprofit dedicated to rare disease research. That experience solidified my passion for medicine and my commitment to making a difference. This kind of detail shows depth, initiative, and a unique perspective, exactly what admissions officers are looking for. Now, extracurricular activities are often misunderstood. Many students think it's all about quantity, joining as many clubs or activities as possible to fill out the Common Apps 10 slots, but admissions officers care far more about the quality of your involvement than the number of activities you list. Your extracurriculars should highlight your commitment, leadership, and impact, not just your ability to show up. Everybody can show up. Let me say this clearly. Depth beats breadth every single time. Here's what I mean. If your application shows you are a member of 10 clubs but didn't take on any leadership roles or make a noticeable impact, it won't stand out. But if you focus on 1 or 2 activities and show real initiative, that's where you become unique. At Inspire Consulting, we call this the laser focus framework. Here's how to use it. First, choose your core interest. Pick maybe 1 to 2 activities that align with your passion or intended major. These should be areas where you can grow and showcase your best work. Then make a tangible impact. This means solving problems, leading initiatives, or creating something new. Ask yourself, what did I create? What problem did I solve? How did I make someone else's life better? And number 3 is document your results. Numbers are your friends, guys. So did you grow membership in a club from 5 to 50? Did you raise $10,000 for a cause? Did you help 20 people in your community? You need to quantify your achievements to give admissions officers clear proof of your impact. Here's a bad and unfocused example for this. I was part of the environmental club and attended meetings. And here's a laser focused example. As president of the environmental club, I created a school-wide campaign that reduced cafeteria waste by 30%. I also secured a $2,000 grant to fund composting bins for the school and wrote an article about the project that was published in our local newspaper. Do you see the difference? The second example isn't just a list of actions, it's a narrative of leadership, problem solving, and measurable impact. That is what admissions officers are looking for. Common mistake number 3, not addressing weaknesses. Let's face it, none of us are perfect. I wasn't valedictorian, right? I'm guessing guessing a lot of you aren't either. Whether it's a bad semester, a lack of AP courses, or even gaps in extracurriculars, we all have parts of our application we wish were stronger. But here's the secret. Admissions officers aren't looking for perfection, right? They're just looking for people that are willing and want to grow. This is where you can use what's called the hero's journey narrative. Think of this as the classic storytelling arc you see in movies or books, but applied to your own life. Here's how it works. Call to adventure. Start by describing the challenge or setback. Keep it factual and brief. Don't make excuses, right? The second you start bringing up excuses, you're done. Just because of the fact that you had a bad teacher one time and everybody else was still able to get A's and you were the only person that weren't able to get that, that's simply on you. All right, so it can't be excuses. But you should also provide enough context to help admissions officers understand what really happened. Second, the struggle. Share how you worked to overcome the challenge. What did you do to improve, adapt, or push through? And then finally, the transformation. End with how this experience changed you. What lessons did you learn and how have they shaped your goals or character? If you ignore your weakness, here's an example of how it would actually show up as. I had a rough sophomore year and my grades slipped. And here's a hero's journey example. During my sophomore year, my grades dropped because I had to take care of my younger siblings while my parents worked overtime. It was tough to balance family responsibilities with school, but I learned how to manage my time effectively. By junior year, I raised my GPA by a full point and even started a tutoring program to help other students struggling to balance academics and personal challenges. The hero's journey turns what could have been a red flag into a story of resilience, character, and growth. It also shows admissions officers that you're capable of handling challenges. It's an essential skill for college. And again, I really want to focus that if all you're bringing up are excuses for having bad grades, that's all on you and you're digging yourself deeper into that hole. So don't even mention it if it was just on you. Now that you're at this point of the video, let me share something a former Ivy League admissions officer told me. Admissions officers don't just admit students, they admit potential. So what this means is that they're not just looking at what you've already done, but at what you're capable of achieving in the future. They want to know, will this student make an impact on our campus and beyond? And that's what you should be demonstrating through your extracurriculars, essays, and throughout your whole application. Here's how you can prove your potential. First, show growth. Your past experiences should tell a story of progress, whether it's, academically or leadership development or personal growth. Admissions officers just want to see that you're constantly pushing yourself throughout high school. Second, demonstrate initiative, right? You shouldn't just be on the sidelines participating. You need to be creating. Did you start a club, launch a project, or identify a problem and solve it? Initiative shows that you're proactive, self-driven, and not afraid to take risks. And then connect it to the future. Tie your achievements to your future goals. How does what you've done in the past prepare you for what you want to achieve in college and beyond? Here's a weak example. I participated in a robotics competition. And then there's a litmus test example. As co-leader of my school's robotics team, I spearheaded the design of a low-cost robotic hand prototype, which won first place at the state competition. This project ignited my passion for biomedical engineering, and I'm eager to explore research opportunities at insert college name here to develop innovative solutions for people with disabilities. The second example isn't just about what you've done. It's about what you're capable of doing. That is what admissions officers want to see. So let's quickly recap here. First, avoid generic essays by using the missing puzzle piece technique to highlight what makes you unique. Then focus your extracurriculars with the laser focus framework to show depth and measurable impact. Third, you need to address your weaknesses with the hero's journey narrative to turn challenges into strengths. Then finally, pass the litmus test of potential by showing growth, initiative, and a clear connection between your past experiences and future goals. Now, if you're serious about taking your application to the next level, book a call with my team using the link in the description. We've helped dozens of students get into their top choice schools, and we'd love to help you too. So if this video helped out, do all the good stuff, like, sub, comment. But before you click off, if you want to learn how to write an essay intro so engaging and interesting that admissions officers never stop reading your essay, click on this video next. I'll see you there. Peace.